Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura. For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club.
Now it's time for Backseat Mogul with R. Scott Bolton. He talks about showbiz because showbiz won't talk about him.
Showbiz is a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs for no good reason. There's also a bad side.
This is the Backseat Mogul Show live here on Rough Edge FM. I am R. Scott Bolton. I am the Backseat Mogul. I could be the Backseat Mogul if I had the helmet and what have you. And this is the show where we talk about show business. Sitting to my right, none other than Johnny D. Johnny, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Scotty B.
How is it going?
Guess what?
I don't know what to guess. You won the Powerball.
No, that would be tonight.
Oh, okay. So I don't know what the guess is then.
Trust me, if I had won the Powerball, could you imagine the studio we would have?
We'd be in Vegas right now.
We'd have a studio in Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you buy Powerball tickets?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Always do.
I bought two.
I always contribute to supposedly the California schools by buying.
I don't think
lottery
Powerball has anything to do with California
you could
schools.
be right there. You could be right there.
But it's the thought that counts.
Now, speaking of you being the Backseat Mogul.
Oh, the new Batmobiles are here from Hot Wheels. Johnny's been bringing these in for the collection. Ooh, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
From Batman Forever. I know you guys probably can't see that real well, but there we go there. And also, what is this one from?
I don't know. It just looks so cool.
It does look cool. I
Does it
wonder
say
if
it
it's
on
from
the
the
back?
I wonder if it's the animated series. Anyway, another really cool one there. Cool stuff. We'll add those to the collection. We got more Batmobiles coming up. I love the Batmobile.
Did I get you the TV series Gold Batmobile?
If you did, it's up there. We'll have to look.
Because I couldn't remember if I got you that one.
I don't remember. We've got 4 or 5 of them up there already.
The thing is, I get these. I can't remember if I got those at a 99-cent store or Dollar Tree store, or if I got them at Walmart.
Oh.
But I see if it's a Batmobile, something from the TV series or from the movies or even the anime, the cartoon series, then yeah, I have to get them.
We collect them here for the studio. This one's new for 2023, by the way. So keep that in mind.
So
cool. Thank you, Johnny.
I can't wait till you have them stuck up on the wall somewhere.
We're gonna put up our acoustic foam, and we're going to add those to the wall. So that'll be all very good.
And I noticed you still have the Fast and the Furious.
I haven't decided what to do with it yet. Might leave it here.
Well, if you
Johnny found a Fast and Furious toy set that was missing the biggest part of the toy. It was like a house. It was Dom's house, and the house was missing, but the charger was still there.
And the thing is, it was a sealed box.
Yeah, it's weird. That's weird. But anyway, how'd you pay for that?
No, I got it at a thrift store.
Oh, that's why it was at a thrift store.
Yeah.
Well, we can't sell this. It doesn't have the house in it.
But I saw it, and I think it was like, I don't know, 50 cents, $1, something like that. I saw them go, oh, I know where that's going.
Yeah, we got to have that.
And the reason why, it's not because it was Fast and Furious. It's because of the one car that's in it.
The Charger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
HB Fist's favorite car.
Scotty has a love affair with that car.
I do. Well, only because everybody else did. I mean, it's in so many movies and so many books and things like
and
that.
TV shows.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I mean, when you stop and think about it, the TV series Dukes of Hazzard destroyed so many of those cars.
I'm not sure they did.
A
lot of them were fake. I think a lot of them were rebuilt.
Well, some of them could have been Dodge Coronets, which is what the Chargers pretty much, I believe it was based on.
Yeah. But a lot of them could have just been
Yeah.
fake bodies. I mean, they do that all the time
Oh, yeah.
for crash movies.
I can
And these days it'd be all CGI, so it didn't matter.
I can remember back in the 80s, I guess it was, or that's when that show was still going on, was the 80s.
Yes, I'm never much of a fan of that.
There was living here in Ventura, there was a car transport. You want one of those big ones being pulled by a diesel truck, big diesel truck, a semi-tractor trailer. You know what I mean? An 18-wheeler type vehicle. But it was the trailer part was a car carrier and 2 levels of cars, and every one of them was an orange Charger.
Oh, that's funny. Guess where they were headed?
They were going to obviously it was a TV set.
Yeah.
So
there was a guy in Ventura who had a lime green Charger, and I love that Charger. Whenever I saw it, I was like, oh, look how sweet. It's just beautiful. It was brand new condition. It was gorgeous. He finally sold it. Somebody told me he got $35,000 for it.
Wow.
I'm thinking that's probably not enough for that vehicle, because that vehicle is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, thanks to those of you who struggled to listen last week's show. We had some technical difficulties we were unaware of until afterwards. Hopefully this show is sounding better. The mics weren't set up correctly or something like that. So we're going to repeat the first part of last week's show, because I really want to tell you about these the first debut release from a company called Film Masters. Now, Film Masters is a company that spends their time finding unique titles and then making them pristine. They get the best possible print they can find, and then they make it even better. And I got to tell you that the 2 films that are included in their debut release are both gorgeous, gorgeous prints. I don't think you'll ever find a better print of these 2 movies than you will find here. In this 2 movie set are the Giant Gila Monster, which you can see here via the cover, and also the Killer Shrews. We'll start with the Giant Gila Monster. Now, the Giant Gila Monster has everything that John would like in a movie. It's got hot rods, it's got rock and roll, and it's got a Giant Gila Monster.
Mm-hmm.
So, checks all the boxes for Johnny D over here. The story is, the movie's from 1959, so keep that in mind as I tell you. The story is that there's a Gila monster that's on the loose, and it's causing some trouble. The problem is the Gila monster is about the size of a bus. Now, in most of these sci-fi movies from the 50s, Johnny, what is the main reason that these normal-sized critters grow to huge proportions?
Radiation.
Right. Not this one. You know what the answer is for the Giant Gila Monster? Well, nobody knows how big these things get, and it's been living down in the barranca for so many years. It just grew to that point.
Could that be like
interesting theory?
Could that be like King Kong, or did we ever find out what the origins of King Kong was? Because he was so big.
King Kong. He's king. He's Kong.
I mean, did it ever come out that he was radiated?
Oh no, he couldn't have been radiated, because remember Skull Island? There's no radiation on Skull Island.
Unless it was out in the Pacific. And they did a lot of atomic testing out there.
In 1933?
Oh, who knows what the Germans were doing?
Yeah. Anyway, so in the Giant Gila Monster, people start to go missing because the Giant Gila Monster has crawled out of his barranca, and he's discovered his favorite food. And what would his favorite food be?
Oh, Soylent Green?
He likes to eat people.
Soylent Green.
Soylent Green is made out of people. So he's going around eating people, and they got to find a way to stop him. So it's fun because it's 1959, so it's very silly and still very entertaining. The cast is kind of stiff, but you'd expect it to be. Back in 1959, acting was a little different than it is now. The special effects are a joy. They're a joy. They have this Gila monster. It's just a normal size Gila monster, which, by the way, are really cool little lizards. I really like those. Those things are awesome. My buddy Devin got one like it, and it's beautiful. But it's anyway. Why am I talking about that? So the Giant Gila Monster is a Gila monster walking around miniature sets. And what's the problem with Gila monsters? They walk really slow.
Mm-hmm.
They walk really slow. So he's lumbering through these sets, knocking over toy cars and stuff like that. It is just a blast. As I said, the images are perfect. The sound quality is perfect. You're not going to get better anywhere else. And it comes with a couple of extras. One of the things that I think is really cool is they offer you the theatrical version, which of course is the big widescreen. And you can also watch the TV version if you want to, the little almost square screen. So that's kind of fun. You get both of those on here. You get the 35 millimeter trailer. So if you want to watch a trailer from back in 1959, there's commentary for the Giant Gila Monster by Larry Stroth, James Gonis, Sean Sheridan, and Matt Weinhold. And they're all from the Monster Party podcast. And archival interview with leading actor Don Sullivan. So you get all that on that first disc in this set, the Giant Gila Monster.
And now, it is Blu-ray.
It is Blu-ray. And that's, that's part of the bringing that quality out. Now, the second film here was actually the one I liked the most, The Killer Shrews. Now, it's interesting because The Killer Shrews tends to have worse reviews than the Giant Gila Monster. But let me tell you about The Killer Shrews. This sea captain goes to an island, and on the island, he finds some scientists. And they're trying to get him to, he's bringing them supplies, and they want him off the island before dark. But the sea's a little rough. He doesn't want to go. So they start to panic. And the reason is because at night, that's when the killer shrews come out to eat things. Now, according to the movie and a little bit of research that I did afterwards, shrews are very ferocious animals because they have to eat like 2 or 3 times their weight daily in order to survive because their metabolism is so full. And on this little island, they've eaten pretty much everything. So they're coming out at night to find something to eat. And right now, the only thing left to eat is each other and those people locked up in that scientific outpost. Which, by the way, looks like a house with a backyard.
I got to tell you, this is spooky talking here. Spooky. You got a Giant Gila Monster and you got killer shrews. That's spooky. Go ahead.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
Anyway, so the killer shrews are coming out. The killer shrews are about the size of a medium dog. And that's good because the killer shrews are played by medium dogs. They put like shag carpeting over their backs and let them run around on the island. Those are your killer shrews. And I got to tell you, as funny and as silly as that sounds, and even the director, I believe, said that he had a hard time keeping a straight face with these dogs running around with these killer shrew costumes on. It kind of works because they look like living creatures. Yeah, they look like living creatures with a costume on, but they look like living creatures. And the dogs, they must have had like snacks or Scooby snacks or something that they were, because the dogs are all scratching to get in and whatever. Now, the close-ups, of course, are hand puppets. And the hand puppets, even though they're very stiff and very, they don't move a lot, they're scary. They got long needle teeth, and you would not want one of those things biting on you. So the Killer Shrews is a lot of fun, and it too comes with a lot of extras. Again, I got to mention the image quality. The image quality is perfect. The sound quality is perfect. I don't think you'll ever see a better print of either one of these movies. The Killer Shrews includes, just as the Giant Gila Monster did, it's got the full theatrical version and the little TV version, so you can watch those if you want. It has a documentary, Ray Kellogg, a unsung master, about one of the directors or producers of these 2 movies, a collection of original radio spots for each films. Those are always fun. Radio spots are interesting. And commentary for The Killer Shrews by author Jason A. Ney. The other thing about these 2 movies, 1959, they both run about 74 minutes. They're very short movies.
Yeah.
So you can watch these 2 movies and still catch the last hour of Oppenheimer. Not bad. It's a blast. If you're into these kind of movies or into vintage movies at all, follow Film Masters. I think it's filmmasters.com. You can follow them also on Facebook. They have new releases coming out already lined up. The Beast from Haunted Cave is one of them. The Scarlet Letter is another one. And hopefully we'll be reviewing those here too as well, because this is a terrific find. This is a terrific company. And these movies are a blast. So check these out. You can buy them now on your favorite Blu-ray purchasing site.
And if you are on the Giant Gila Monster, if you type in H-I-L-A, no, Gila is not spelled with an H. It's spelled with a G, G-I-L-A. And the reason why I mention that is because I fell into that trap.
What a shocker.
Yeah.
Gila monsters have always been one of my favorite animals since I was a kid. I just loved them. I thought they were cool. Those and horned toads. Horned toads are fun too. Anybody that can squirt blood from their eyes, you got to give them points for that. But anyway, that was those 2 movies. Check those out. They are a lot of fun, and I think you'll enjoy them. What have you been watching, Johnny?
Well, before we do that, you know why I said spooky?
No, I don't think anybody else does at this point either.
Well, you're getting ready to find out. Scary snacks.
Okay, so not spooky snacks though.
Spooky
Very
snacks.
Oh, and spooky Twinkies. Cool. Spooky Twinkies.
It's
These
that time
are
of
things that people John and I's age and weight should not be eating. But
Hey.
we're gonna.
Oh yeah. So it is that time of the season. It, it actually starts. It's already started, but I guess Halloween season officially starts tomorrow.
Next week we will be next Saturday we'll start doing our Halloween stuff. We'll start doing Halloween shows every week. On KVTA, Tom likes me to do Halloween themed movies, spooky movies, scary movies every week. So we'll start doing that on this Thursday on KVTA, and then we'll move to the podcast here on Saturdays and do the same thing.
KVTA, I believe, is in at 1590 on the dial.
1590 AM here in Ventura County. Yes. The News Talk radio station.
I
am Scott, the video guy, on there, by the way.
Is KVTA, is that part of the iHeart radio system, or do they have a website?
It's Gold Coast. They do have it. Yeah, if you go to AM 1590, I think it's kvta.com.
Are they streaming?
They will stream there. You can listen to it.
Oh,
yes.
Great. So our listeners in New York or Maine or
anywhere in the world.
In Europe.
Anywhere in the world. Europe is in the world. Yeah.
Cool.
kvta.com. You can go there and listen in. I'm on at about 6 to 6:30 a.m. on Thursdays. So if you want to check it out, join us. That'd be awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And our corner theater, it does have some scary movies coming up.
Well, it is the season, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
What do they got?
Well, it's funny that you should ask.
He was researching this earlier. I knew that he had it.
Okay, let's see here.
Oh, I thought he did. Yes, I was.
Well, I did, and then I had to make sure I was spelling Gila right.
Wait a minute. Okay, for those of you who don't know, last week we did this review of the Giant Gila Monster, and last week we had to trash the show because the sound quality was bad. But John said the same thing last week he did this week. So you looked at it wrong again this week?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I just was checking.
Starting on Wednesday, or Flashback Wednesday, this Wednesday is Shaun of the Dead. Before we go there, you know what else is, I believe it opens?
Shaun of the Dead, very funny movie.
You know what opens Monday?
Jaws of Revenge.
No. Corpse Bride.
Very good.
Let's see that The Exorcist Believer starts on
that's a new movie. Haven't seen that yet.
Also.
And it probably won't be as much fun as The Pope's Exorcist.
I haven't seen that one
so
either.
Much fun.
And I got to tell you, I really enjoy
I'm going to let him run with this, folks.
Yeah,
I warned him not to do this. Don't bring something up unless you know what it is. Let's watch.
The Gladiator, dude.
Who's that, John?
It ain't Jason Statham.
No, it's not.
It's that Australian dude. You know, the Aussie dude. And that's not really an Aussie accent that I'm not really doing.
Trying to dig your way out
yes,
isn't going to work.
Am.
His name is Russell Crowe.
I think it's Russell Crowe, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. And Andrea is going to love this one. And you know she's going to be there because you told me she was going to be there.
She is.
For all 5 films on Thursday, the Twilight Saga Marathon.
Glittery vampires for 10 hours.
Yes, if you want to see a vampire, if you're not sure, let them walk in the daylight. They glitter.
Sparkle.
They shimmer.
It's beautiful.
Ooh. Ghostbusters. Apparently it's the original.
And still the best.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Yep, it's the original. I never saw... I saw the sequel. The 2... Would you call them remakes? The one with the female Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that was a reboot.
I haven't seen that one, and I haven't seen the last one that was done.
That was supposed to be very good, but I haven't seen it either. The female remake wasn't bad because it was a female remake. It just didn't have any spark, and that was unfortunate because what a great cast was in that. But it just didn't have any spark, and that was too bad.
The Addams Family
Yeah.
The one with Raul Julia.
Probably. There's been a lot of people who played Adams, and for my money, John Astin.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
But he didn't do any of the movies. He just did the
No.
TV series.
Well, he did do a movie, but it was a TV movie.
And he also, oh really? That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And he also replaced Frank Gorshin for at least one, maybe a few episodes of the Riddler in the TV series Batman.
One of the rare times when John Astin didn't outshine the original, because Gorshin.
Oh yeah. Frank Gorshin.
Oh man.
Was and will always be, in my eyes, the Riddler.
He was great. He was you watch him now in those old Batman shows, and that man had so much energy, and he expelled every inch of it on the screen, jumping around, dancing in the air. God, he was just terrific. And you knew that his character was crazy. You knew that character was out of his mind, as all Batman villains are.
Every character he ever played was that way. That episode of Star Trek where they have these two guys from the same planet. They're the only two left from the entire population of that planet, but yet they're still fighting because one is black and white and the other one is white and black.
That's right. Great episode.
Yeah, it was.
Great episode of Star Trek.
Ghostbusters. Oh,
so we don't know which one it is. Probably the original.
No, it is the original. I just checked it out. The Shining should be the original.
The movie that Stephen King hates, but it's not that bad if you look at it for what it is. It's actually very good because it's Stanley Kubrick.
And it's Jack.
And Jack Nicholson.
Taylor Swift. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not horror.
That's going to be so big. I can't even imagine how much money that's already made.
They have two not showings. Yeah, two showings, 2 different days for that at this art theater.
2 different event showings. Yeah. That woman is so big that she has a new boyfriend, and I'm not a sports guy, so don't hold this over my head. She has a new boyfriend who's a football player.
And Kansas City Chiefs.
And they just, is that what it is? And apparently they just kind of had their first images together, her at his games. Well, now the tickets for all the subsequent games have gone through the roof price-wise.
Oh, yeah.
Who has that kind of power? Who has that kind of audience? She is amazing.
I would say Taylor Swift is the 2023 version. Okay, version is not the word. Of the Beatles.
I think she's bigger than the Beatles.
No, but what I'm saying is the Beatles in their day.
Yeah.
When they were so Beatlemania.
Right.
Were the biggest thing to hit rock and roll at that time.
Yes. But I wonder
now Taylor Swift right now, for her genre of music, not just her music, but
just music in general.
Yeah. She is so big.
She I don't think the Beatles had an impact on local economies the way that Taylor Swift is. There's just nobody like this ever before. And it's kind of incredible the amount of, she tells people to go out and vote. All the voting sites broke down because people were following what she said to do. It's impressive as hell, and more power to her. I think that's terrific. And, Andrea, my son's girlfriend, for those of you who don't know, she's a Swiftie without question. She is a hardcore
She's
Swiftie.
A cutie Swiftie.
Okay. And she goes to these events, and from the story she tells me, all these Swifties love and respect each other. They're like one family. And if you've got a family of that size that treats each other that well, that's a good thing, man. That is a good thing. So
they make bracelets.
That's not all they do, but they make bracelets and then they trade them amongst each other. And then they have barbecues out in the parking lot. They invite each other to each other's homes. It's a community the likes of which I've never seen.
They do tailgating.
I think it's really, really impressive. So it's also a little scary for one woman to have that much power. Let's not forget that angle of it too. But
the Lost Boys. One of the things I liked about the Lost Boys, first off,
the final line, best line in movie history. Well, one of them.
Oh yeah.
You know, one thing I hate about this town. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he was so good. Was the music. Echo and the Bunnymen, their version of the Doors' People Are Strange was
I don't remember that.
Oh God. For me, when you hear a song by the original artist, Nobody can top it. Occasionally it happens.
It does. I agree.
And in my opinion, Echo and the Bunnymen's version may not have topped the Doors version of People Are Strange, but it came pretty dadgum darn close.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying to clean up my language.
I don't remember that track. I'll have to listen to that again.
Oh.
I'm sure I've heard it, but it's been so long since that. What year is the Lost Boys?
Oh God.
79, 82, something like that.
It came out in the 80s. If I get my
maybe it's later than I'm thinking.
It opens October 18th. Okay, when was it? Of course, this doesn't tell me, but you will.
Yes, I will. 1987.
Yeah.
So wow.
It was a great cast. Unfortunately, we don't hear from Jason Patrick. Don't know what happened to him, but he was a flame there for a bit. I don't know what he's doing now.
I don't either. Why are you looking up here? Keep talking.
I can't. Anyway, it's also got Corey Haim, who's no longer with us, but he was not bad. One of my favorite actresses, Diane Wiest. Bernard Hughes, the grandfather,
yes,
who had that great line. Edward Herrmann. Great. Kiefer Sutherland.
Can't beat no Kiefer Sutherland.
Jamie Gertz, Corey Feldman, and that's just the main part of the cast. And it was a Joel Schumacher film. He directed it.
Joel Schumacher, one of those directors who has some of the best work in the business and some of the worst work in the business. But that's what happens. So
Little Shop of Horrors is coming.
Steve Martin, Rick Moranis.
Yep. The Thing.
Ellen Green.
The one with Kurt Russell.
Yeah. That's
John Carpenter.
There are very few movies as close to perfect as that one is. And John Carpenter says he's thinking about doing a sequel himself, which would be very interesting if he decides to do that. But we'll see. John Carpenter hasn't directed anything in a long time.
Okay. That's it for the from what they have listed. Now there's a movie that's it opens I believe October 19th. And this is a movie I definitely want to go see. It's called Killers of the Flower Moon.
I can't wait to see that.
And it's based on true events. And the fact that they shot it in Oklahoma in an area where I grew up in as a kid. So it's going to be
probably set in the era when you were a kid too.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm very anxious to see this movie. Martin Scorsese, it's going to be 3 hours. Maybe you and I'll go because Shelley won't go to that movie. It's too long for her. It's over 3 hours long. But I want to see it, and I want to see it in the theater. It's Martin Scorsese. I mean, you don't go wrong with Martin Scorsese. So that might be something that I'll ask you about. Maybe we can get together and go to see it at a theater, because
I would like that.
She will not go to a 3-hour movie. Just won't do it. But I will, because
it's got a great cast. A fantastic.
Well, it's
cast.
Martin Scorsese. He gets who he wants. He's like Wes Anderson, who we'll be talking about a little later. He gets the cast that he wants. People want to work with him. So anyway, very excited about that. That comes out this week or next week?
October 19th.
Oh, it's a couple weeks away still. Okay, I thought it was sooner than that. All right. In other news, I watched a couple of movies on Netflix. I believe they're both on Netflix. The first one is just for fun. And if you've seen any of the others, you know what to expect. It's Spy Kids Armageddon. Now, Spy Kids Armageddon is kind of a reboot of the original Spy Kids. I think there were 6 or 7 of those Spy Kids films.
The original was great.
They're all fun to a certain degree. They're definitely made for kids. There's no two ways about that. That's the only way you can look about it. And the storyline is, in this case, the parents, who are played by 2 of my favorite actors, Zachary Levi and Gina Rodriguez. And you just can't go wrong with those 2. They're spies, and their kids don't know they're spies. But then something happens, and their kids find out that they are indeed spies. They have to be told they're spies. So then the kids start getting involved in the spy business, and they get all the gadgets and the uniforms and the I was going to say weapons, but I don't want you to think guns, because there's not much gunplay in this. It's more exotic weapon play. But anyway, so they're going up against a man who owns a huge video game company, who is taking everybody's password off of everything they do on the web anywhere in the world. And instead of a password, you have to play a game. And if you beat the game, then you get into account. If you don't beat the game, you give it to your kids to have them beat it for you because kids are always so much better than that. 5 Spy Kid movies.
Yeah.
So, counting this one?
Yes.
No, I thought there was more. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. And the main reason is because Robert Rodriguez, who is the writer, director, cinematographer, did some of the music, does everything as he always does, owns his own movie studio in Texas. The man has a killer imagination.
Yeah.
And not just in his story, which this is just Spy Kids retold. It really is basically the same story as the original Spy Kids, but the special effects, the things that happen on screen, the dialogue, it's all Robert Rodriguez style. It's all this hyper imagination stuff that I just love. And it was just a blast to watch. And again, it's not James Bond. Adults aren't going to watch this by themselves and think, I take this back. Adults can watch this by themselves and still have a good time. You just have to realize that the movie is directly aimed for children. But I thought Spy Kids Armageddon was a blast. I might even watch it again. And I hope this leads to some more Spy Kids movies.
Well, the original, I mean, look at the cast that the original had. And Antonio
Banderas. Remember when just a few minutes ago when you weren't going to bring up things you forgot you didn't know?
Yeah. Well, no, it's because I'm looking right at it and all it says is Antonio.
Yeah.
He played the father.
Yes.
And Carla, God, I cannot pronounce her name. Carla Gucci.
I don't know how to pronounce her name either.
Gugino.
Guigno, something like that.
Gugino.
She's awesome.
She was the mother.
She is awesome. She should have won an Oscar if she had been eligible for Gerald's Game on Netflix. That's a Stephen King story where she's tied to a bed for the entire movie, and she was freaking brilliant. It was a great movie. We're not going to go through the cast of all the old movies. We're talking about this new one. And one of the things I did miss about this is there's no mega cameos. Back in the old movies, remember there was George Clooney and Steven Seagal and all these people who had these big, huge cameos. None of that in the new movie. And I kind of missed that.
Yeah, Machete was in the original.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they mentioned Machete in this movie. It's our Uncle Machete. Yeah, so he's still
played
there.
By the same?
I said
Danny?
They mention him. They don't.
Oh, okay.
Nobody else can play Machete.
That's true.
That's like saying somebody else can play Snake Plissken. It doesn't. No, when Danny Trejo dies, Machete dies.
And the thing is, that was his character's name, Machete.
Yeah, it was obviously.
And of course, we're talking about Danny Trejo. And
I did say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't. Apparently, my headphones didn't.
Yeah, sure.
But now he did. Was it 1 or 2 movies?
He did 2 Machete movies.
But was that supposed to be the same character from Spy Kids?
Yeah,
I mean, it's the same character's name.
It is. It's the same character. It's the Robert Rodriguez universe. Of course it is.
Oh, okay.
And
but he played more of a comedic in Spy Kids. Which,
well, of course, it's a kids' movie. You don't have the Machete from the other movies in the kids' movie.
Well, that's true.
A completely different character. It's not a completely different character. It's just a more hardcore character. The third Machete movie, which we probably will never see, even though Danny Trejo's still begging Robert Rodriguez to do it, and that I would pay $20 a ticket to see Machete in Space. Just give me here, take my money now. So I can see Machete in Space. I'd pay for that in a heartbeat. That'd be awesome. By the way, that was also the third Snake Plissken movie, Escape from Space.
Really?
Would have been cool.
Yeah.
Would have been cool, but we may never know. Anyway, Spy Kids Armageddon, highly recommend it. Just go for the good time. Movies can just be fun. They don't have to be serious topics or what have you. They can just be fun. So yeah, check that one out. It's very entertaining.
What have you watched lately?
Spy Kids Armageddon.
Besides that.
A weird segue. What this tells me is John has something he wants to say, but he's going to have to wait because we're talking about something else. I did see this.
Okie dokie.
I saw one of the best things I've seen this year. It's called The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. It is a Wes Anderson film. Wes Anderson, of course, is famous for his movie. His most recent movie was Asteroid City. Welcome to Asteroid City. He is one of the most unique filmmaking styles that there is. And some people hate it. I happen to think that they're wrong. I think it's absolutely brilliant what he does. And the fact that he's so successful tells me that most people agree with me. The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar is based on a story by Roald Dahl. And Roald Dahl, as you probably know, is the author who wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and also Matilda. Very successful author and many, many books. A good friend of Ian Fleming's, which I always think is fun to bring up. Ian Fleming and he were buddies. And a matter of fact, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang came around because Ian Fleming wanted to write a children's book like his friend Roald Dahl did.
Yeah, it's funny how we went from spies to the creator of one of the best spy movie franchises we've ever had.
Mentioned just in passing. But so the wonderful story of Henry Sugar is this story. A man discovers that there is a guru who can levitate himself while he's meditating. And he's been doing this to such perfection for all these years that now he can look through things and see the inside, almost like an X-ray machine. If he looked at you, he'd see your organs. If he looked at a tree, he'd see the veins and stuff running through the tree. And this man who discovers this girl realizes, hey, this would be a pretty neat trick, because he's a gambler and he would be able to see through cards and be able to cheat at the casinos. So he spends years dedicating his life to being able to do just that. And he achieves that. And I'll leave it there, and you can watch the movie for the rest of it. But it is a fascinating film to watch. It's got all the great Wes Anderson style, the sets that you're not sure they're actual sets or if they're CGI. Knowing Wes Anderson, most of it is an actual set. But because, doors part and there's another scene behind it and curtains fall and there's another scene in front of it. It's amazing to watch. And the writing style is very Wes Anderson. He wrote this as well, with this sharp, pointed dialogue that is as much a narrator as it is a character, which is also very interesting. And of course, the best thing about it all is his cast, because as I said earlier, Wes Anderson gets the cast that he wants. Mm-hmm. This cast includes Ralph Fiennes, who plays Roald Dahl, Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays Henry Sugar, Dev Patel, who plays Dr. Chatterjee, and Ben Kingsley, who plays Imdad Khan, who is, of course, the guru. Fascinating, awesome.
That's
movie.
A great cast.
It is a great cast. And they're all, look at this. This is like a lineup of some of the best actors in the business. Mm-hmm. And they're all in this film together. And the best thing, this isn't the best thing because I could have gone much longer. It's only 40 minutes long. And it's part one of a 4-part series of Wes Anderson films based on Roald Dahl. So I can't wait for more of this from Netflix. But trust me, this is probably the best thing I've seen this year. I loved it that much. Terrific stuff.
That sounds good.
On Netflix. So check that out. The wonderful story of Henry Sugar. And it's important I tell you the title, because when I was talking about it on KVTA this week, I was so excited about talking about it, I forgot to tell people the name. Thankfully, Diana caught me and corrected me, but yeah, I dropped it.
You've been hanging around me too much.
I was just so excited. It wasn't that I forgot. It's just that I was so excited about how good it is. I just neglected to mention the name. Silly. But anyway, that's on Netflix. The wonderful story of Henry Sugar. Check it out. I hope you like it as much as I did. And now we'll get to John, who wanted to talk about something he saw, which is why he asked me.
I went to our corner theater and I saw, and it's not there now because it ended its run. I saw Equalizer 3.
Now, did you see Equalizer 2?
No.
Because you said you weren't going to go until you saw Equalizer 2.
I know it.
I don't think you need to.
I have to, because there's something that happens at the end of the movie that apparently
tied into the second one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Or I should say something that happened in the second one, which apparently is tied into this one.
Okay.
And you don't know that until the end of Equalizer 3. So maybe it was something that happened in the first.
It was the same guy? I'm just kidding. No, don't say anything. I don't want to.
Don't know, because I haven't seen the second one. But anyway, this movie takes place, Equalizer 3, all takes place in, for the most part, except for the ending, takes place in Italy, more specifically Sicily, and it's bloody.
Well, it's an Equalizer movie. It should be.
I mean, the character that Denzel Washington plays, which was originally created, or the character was originally played by Edward Woodward on TV. The Equalizer TV series from I can't remember if that was in part of the 70s. I know it was in the 80s, but anyway, this is a man, Denzel Washington, who is so good. He can play anything in my view.
And as far as I can remember, Denzel does not like to do sequels, but he's done 3 of these now. And rumor is that he might be open to do a 4th one if it comes around. And this movie did really well at the box office. Now, it may not sound like it because it's sitting at about $150 million worldwide, but with its small budget, it made money. So there might be room for a 3rd Robert McCall film.
Well, Johnny Depp was the same, had the same thing about doing sequels, but yet look what he did with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, the difference is that the money they dangled in front of Johnny Depp to do a Pirates movie is about equal to the money that the Equalizer has made.
But getting back to Equalizer, it's one of the things I really liked about this movie is that it paired Denzel Washington with Dakota Fanning again.
Oh, I'd heard that. Yeah, I forgot. And you know, I haven't seen that movie.
Oh,
everybody tells me to see that movie, and I've not seen it.
To me, it's my favorite. I like every movie that I've ever seen with Denzel Washington.
And what's the name of that movie? The previous
one that I really, really like, Man on Fire.
Man on Fire.
And
I was hoping you forgot. But,
it was a movie he did when Dakota Fanning was just a little girl. It was for me, it was such a fantastic movie. I highly recommend this movie.
Everybody tells me to watch it, and I haven't. I will watch it soon. It's on Max, so I can watch it on Max, and I will do that. I'm going to
look what else it's on.
It's also on the Roku channel, Spectrum TV, Prime Video, Vudu, or Apple TV. The difference is, I don't know if you have to pay on those channels. On Max, I know I get it if I have a subscription, but those other channels you may have to pay for the movie. I don't know, but I'm going to watch it on Max.
I mean, just read what the synopsis says on it, because you do so much better than I do.
Yeah, this is a great synopsis too. Everything you want to know about this movie is in the synopsis. Man on Fire, a crime drama movie starring Denzel Washington, Dakota Fanning, and Christopher Walken, is available to stream now. Doesn't that just entice you to watch the movie?
Yeah,
that is a great. That's not a synopsis. Well, that's the only thing on the screen.
Well, I figured you would have pulled it up.
No, I don't want to know. I want to see it. I don't want to.
It is really, really good.
And many people have told me to check out Man on Fire, and I haven't, and I need to, so I will.
For me, you watch a movie and you see the interaction between the 2 actors, not the characters, but the actors, and if
that builds the characters.
Yeah, because if it is so good, then their characters just shine. And when I saw Man on Fire, for me, not camaraderie, what's the word I'm looking for?
Chemistry.
The chemistry between Denzel Washington and this little girl. And when I say little, she was what, 7, 8, something like that. It was just fantastic. And it came through on the screen to where you just, this is a movie you must see. You really must see.
I got to see it. You know what? I'm going to make another vow to you all. I'll watch it this week because I've been wanting to see it for a while, and I'll check it out this week. By the way, Equalizer 3, Rotten Tomatoes, 75% good from the critics, 94% good for audiences. So that's why that movie's doing so well up there at the box office. And you know what? I'm up for another outing with Washington's McCall.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it works in tandem with Queen Latifah's Equalizer on TV, because she's doing a fine job on that too.
I have not watched all of this past season. I got to get back into it.
It's fun. It gets stupid sometimes, like most of those shows do, but it's okay. It's entertaining, and that's what matters. And it's never as stupid as The Rookie. I love The Rookie. I love The Rookie too. All right. So I think we got one more thing to talk about, and then we're out of here. Saw 10 or Saw X, whichever you prefer, open this weekend. Some of the best reviews for the Saw movies in the whole history of the Saw movies. 87% of the critics liked it. 90% of the audience liked it. It's supposed to be terrific. And the lead, Tobin Bell, best performance of the entire series. So I'm very excited to see this. I love the storyline. It's about Saw, who is sick, of course, and dying, goes to Mexico to try to find a cure that he can't find in the United States. And he sees a lot of bad things going on in Mexico. So guess what happens to those people who are doing the bad things? Oh, they get to play a game. So, so it sounds like my kind of movie. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And that is Saw 10 in theaters this weekend. It looks like it's open at number 2 at the box office because Paw Patrol. Well, can't find babysitters, kids. I mean, parents, come on.
Saw 10 is showing at our corner theater.
Why couldn't you take Saw 10, the kids to Saw 10 instead of Paw Patrol? That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Kids, sit here and watch this. If you're bad,
wait a minute.
That man's coming to your house.
It's not that that's what you would do. You have done that. You did that with your son.
Now, my son's a whole different character that
I still love.
Johnny's saying that because I showed my son Night of the Living Dead when he was 10. And I told him, I said, Josh, just remember, they're all pretending. These are just people pretending to be these zombies. And yeah, he's a little messed up today, but for the most part, he's a good kid.
Yeah. How old was he when he really shook your brother's tree? That's a great story. You got to tell it again.
No, I don't think that's the kind of story we're going to share on the show, but it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah. My son,
get your
he was I left him in the theater with my brother before the movie started so I could use the restroom. And when I came back, my brother was sweating profusely and embarrassed because of something that Josh played a trick on.
And people were staring.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty entertaining. All right, folks, that's it for this week's Backseat Mogul Show. John, what now?
We lost a really good actor who played a phenomenal character in the
Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yes. In the Harry Potter series.
Oh,
it was the
second. You were talking about the other guy.
No, it was the second actor who played. I started to say Gandalf. It's not Gandalf.
What would it be?
Dumbledore. Well, for me, the ultimate was Richard Harris. He was fantastic. Unfortunately, he passed away. It was after the second one.
Apparently, Dumbledore's got a curse on him because everybody who's played that part has died.
Well, they killed the character off. Oops. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Sorry. But when I heard that he passed away, it's like, oh my goodness. Yeah. Cause he,
wasn't he 90 years old?
Oh God. I don't know.
What was his name, John? This great actor that you can't.
Gambon? No. Yes. I don't know. Yeah. Michael Gambon. No, that's not it. I don't know.
It was Michael Gambon.
He was
82. So that's, that's up there, but it's not up there.
That's true. But yeah, he was good. And if they do another incarnation of a Harry Potter movie, whether it's of a young Harry Potter or a much older Harry Potter, the only way they can do Dumbledore is if, do people really ever die in?
It's a fantasy movie. Anything can happen. Yeah. But I think that the Harry Potter movies are done, at least for a long, long time. I mean, I think that Warner Brothers has found other ways to generate that revenue with that product. And J.K. Rowling has said she'll never write another one. So, and she really controls all of it. I mean, I don't know how much money they paid her. So, but a lot has to do with her. This is the person I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, I was going to bring that one up too.
He was 90.
Yeah.
Go ahead, because you know that series better than I do.
David McCallum, who played in the NCIS TV series, he played Dr. Mallard, aka Ducky. But what I remember him from, he played a Russian spy, not for Russia, but for the United Network Command for Law Enforcement, aka Uncle, in the TV series The Man from U.N.C.L.E. David McCallum was great. He was an English actor, or he might have been Irish. He was from the UK. And he was such a fantastic actor. He was in The Great Escape. He was also, there was another World War II movie he was in where he played a pilot, and I can't remember what the name of that movie was. I want to say 633 Squadron, or might have been Dam
Busters. Was it 63 Squadron?
633. I just can't remember, but David McCallum was such a fantastic actor. I had a very bad experience with Scotch many years back in the 70s, and where to the point where I swore off Scotch. But there was an episode of NCIS where all the main characters met at a local bar, and David McCallum's character ordered Ducky ordered a Scotch. He wanted Macallan neat. Actually, I think he ordered Macallan 18, and I'm going, okay, I got to try that. And I found a airplane sized bottle of it, and I had it, and oh my God, it was so good.
Really? You like Scotch?
No, not just Scotch, Macallan 18.
Okay.
And
I mean, I've had that too.
And it's quite expensive.
At the Grape, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it's quite expensive. But I got to tell you, it changed my thinking about, well, at least that kind of Scotch.
Scotch is a very interesting critter because there are Scotches that are hideous. There are Scotches that are delicious. There are Scotches that are adult and meant to make you suffer. And everybody likes a different one.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Everybody has one they prefer, even though somebody else might say, oh, that tastes like dirt. And it might taste like dirt because it's supposed to taste like dirt. But very interesting. Yeah. So anyway, a couple of major losses there, and Godspeed, gentlemen.
Yes.
Anything else we got here, Johnny? I think we're done.
I watched the last episode.
Guess we're not done.
Yeah. Of the first season of the Lord of the Rings. The
TV series?
Yeah, the TV series, it's not Lord of the Rings. It's Lord of the Rings, but it's
Amazon's Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which takes place hundreds of years before what we know as the Lord of the Rings.
I haven't seen any of those shows.
And I got to tell you,
the Rings of Power.
Yeah, I liked it. I got to admit, I liked it. Don't know when season 2 is going to show up. There was only, I think, 8 episodes of season 1, but like Lord of the Rings, what was put into this TV series, the production value was just fantastic.
Which makes me wonder how long they'll be able to sustain it.
True.
Because it ain't cheap. It ain't cheap. I was seeing if there's any place I could watch Mission Impossible because I still haven't seen Dead Reckoning. It looks like it's still in theaters. It's playing up at Agora, as a matter of fact.
I honestly don't know if it came to our theater or not.
It did. It did. I was out here, and I just didn't get a chance to go, and I'm very upset about it. So, by the way, no, you know what? I won't do it. All right. Anyway, that's it, folks. Thanks for listening to Backseat Mogul Show. We'll be back next week with our first Halloween show. We're going to do Halloween movies for the rest of October because it's just fun. And horror movies are one of my favorite types of movies. And they're super successful now because the studios have realized they're very cheap to make, and they generally make pretty good money. So we'll see how that all unfolds. But we'll talk about some of our favorites, some of the new ones coming out, and all kinds of great Halloween themed stuff. Family, not so family, not family at all. All those things we'll talk about.
And possibly some Halloween type, I say that because of the scary, spooky stuff, TV series or TV series episodes.
I didn't agree to that.
I said possibly.
All right, folks, we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Go to your corner theater. Our corner theater is the Regency Buenaventura Sixplex. So go to your corner theaters. Enjoy the movies and the popcorn.
And the hot dogs, $2.50, I think.
Oh, yeah, the ice
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.